All right. Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to the second edition of our live stream series discussing what a true MSP platform is all about. My name is Brian Troy. I'm in the product marketing team at ConnectWise, and I'm very happy to be joined by Jeff Bishop, our GM for ASIO and our Unified Monitoring and Management business units. So we're here today on a Friday just to have a casual conversation with everybody and talk about what we think are some of the important things that go on for a platform. So before we get into that, though, Jeff, it is Friday, and I'm sure the weekend is on your mind. What are you doing this weekend? What's going to be fun out there?
What am I going to do this weekend? That's a good question, Brian. I have absolutely no clue what I'm going to do. I will probably make my way. There's a cigar lounge about 5 miles north of downtown Tampa. I will probably find my way there at some point on either Saturday or Sunday night. Other than that, if you're in Tampa, it's called Grand Cathedral. Great spot, and would love to see you there. But I don't know. How about you? What are you getting into?
I've got a lot of things that I need your approval on. So I'm going to be at Grand Cathedral with a binder full of notebooks that I need you to sign off on. No, I'm just kidding. For anybody who's not familiar, ConnectWise's global headquarters is in beautiful Tampa, Florida. And I know that there's a lot of places around the world that the weather isn't all that great right now. But if anybody ever wants to come to Tampa and hang out, it'll be about 85 degrees and beautiful. So I'll be out on the water with my family having a good time. And I'm sure that they're going to love to hear about the reasons I'm so excited about this platform movement that we have, not just at ConnectWise, but in the industry, because they tell me all the time, they're like, Dad, stop talking about work. It's on Saturday. So, but that's how it goes. So we'll jump into it. So like I said, this is part 2 of our series. And we talked a little bit last week about the importance of kind of having this platform perspective as we talk to a lot of ConnectWise partners in our roles, and what we're hearing from them is, this concept of this new era of silos of chaos has emerged. And over the past, 10 or 15 years, managed services on the whole has gone through a lot of transition. A lot of new innovation has come into the world. And one of the things that I'd say our most successful partners and partners that are looking to become successful are evaluating right now is, where do they go in this next step in this world full of point solutions, and how do they optimally manage their business so that they can service their clients better? We talked a little bit last week about how these silos of chaos have emerged again, and it's making it kind of tricky for MSPs to navigate these waters. Jeff, one of the things that you and I have talked a little bit about from this perspective is just, the management of those separate tools, right? Some MSPs in their business have 15 to 20 different tools that they're using to deliver service. I know you spent a lot of time looking into that. It's tough, right?
Look, yes. I was on with a couple of partners earlier today, and we were talking about, the fact that, 15, 20 products and all the, that's not like 15 or 20 integrations. It's more like, 20 times like 3. It's like, you start getting into like hundreds of integrations of how BDR routes to the PSA and RMM, and documentation routes to like 5 different products, and reporting and dashboarding, is tied to all of it. It's just so many. And ultimately, every single one of these MSPs has to maintain these. And what I really, really hate about it, Brian, is that they become the referee. They call up us, and maybe it's us and us, or maybe it's us and another vendor. They're like, I got a problem. I'm seeing this, and both the vendor and ourselves are going, all right, well, is it us? Is it them? Is it, how do we, mitigate this problem quickly? And man, it's a lot of work, and I hate the fact that we're putting our MSPs in the middle of all that. So yeah, that's my initial take there on that, Brian. Wait.
Yeah. And, it's tough because it adds up. I mean, the costs add up, right? And one of the things that I hear a lot from our partners is, the colleagues and the employees within that MSP have a tough time keeping up, and it's not really leading to ideal job satisfaction. And right now, in a kind of a tough labor market, you want to make sure that you're holding on to the people that are really good at what they do, because it's important that you deliver that valuable service to your clients. So maintaining a lot of that makes it really hard. And so there's a lot of like hidden costs. I say hidden. Jeff last week called me out. I said it's not hidden. Everybody sees it. It's just, what are you going to do about it? So the focus of our conversation today is really around the unification of data and creating a centralized data layer within a platform. Um, this is probably one of the most important aspects of what a true MSP platform actually is, because it's going to take away a lot of the requirements that we just talked about. Whenever you've got all those different solutions and all those different connections and all those different ways of tools working together, this unified data layer really becomes that repository that manages all of the data from all of the different sources within the platform. And it really plays a critical role in driving that effectiveness and that efficiency for an MSP. So Jeff, this is an area you and I have talked a lot about. Maybe tell us what you've heard from partners and some of your thoughts on why this unification of data and this data layer is so important.
Look, the whole world of MSPs is about data. We can discuss RMMs and PSAs and every other acronym under the bus, but at the end of the day, this is all about data. This is about getting your customer information into a system of record, system of intelligence, so that we are able to, as an industry, support these companies and help them with what it means to grow and expand and take on new technology and everything else, right? So if that's the way we are evaluating and looking at this, the fact that you have 30 something different products as an MSP, that means you got 30 different data repositories. And the PSA has historically, Brian, you're going to know this better than most. What was it? Look, I love this guy, Arnie Bellini. What did Arnie used to say about the PSA and information that was outside of it? Remember?
Anybody who's watching this that's been a ConnectWise partner knows that if it's not in ConnectWise, it didn't happen.
Exactly. It didn't happen. So, but that is a subset of all the overall data. And as much as I love Mr. Bellini and huge respect for him and what he did, at the end of the day, what that means is that information has to flow into the PSA, but that doesn't always happen. There's so much information that lives in all those 30 other repositories that doesn't make their way in, which also means that your AI engine doesn't have the ability to tie into all that data. It means that you're still syncing data from product A to product B. And so maybe that happens real time, but typically it's happening every few hours or maybe once a day or once a whatever cadence. And what's worse is all the duplication. There's so many products out there that are finding devices, finding contacts, finding information that is repetitive, and then they are constantly pushing that either to each other or into a PSA or something else. And when they do that, they are duplicating information. So you're getting duplicative devices, you're getting overwrites, and you're constantly as an MSP, you're seeing like information like you're flowing back and forth, and it's just not what you need. And that's unfortunate. Look at as an MSP, we have to spend so much time hoping, working with our partners to make them successful and helping them with their technology problems. These are not the kind of things that you want to deal with. And that is what an ASIO and a true platform solves, is like, it's one device, it's one company, it's one site, it's one contact, one ticket. And when you do that, you remove all of that duplication and that syncing of data, and you put it all into one central place. So when that network probe finds that device, it's not that we're syncing it with your PSA. It's the exact same back-end data source that is feeding the PSA, feeding your documentation, feeding your RMM, feeding your SIM, feeding everything else. And man, does that remove a lot of problems and a lot of duplication and manual effort.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I want to go back to that you hit on that we've heard from our partners as being really important is the AI benefit. Obviously, right now, everybody's trying to figure out how to get AI to work for them. How can we use that to be more efficient in servicing clients? How can we use it to be more efficient in completing tasks? How can we use it to be more efficient in getting visibility into different issues? And the reality is, if you've got these disconnected data sets because your products are, simply integrated, you're going to run into challenges optimizing that AI. You can use it, but you're never going to get the true value out of it where it can go and look at everything in a single data layer and really provide you with the optimization to go drive the efficiency that you could get with AI. So I think that that's one of the key areas here is like, this is, a hot topic in our industry right now, just like it's a hot topic around the world. But the fact of the matter is, if you try to use it with these disparate data sets, it's not going to work as well as it would with the centralized data set. That's going to give you the full visibility across the board so that you can really take advantage of that power. And, some of the partners that we've seen that we've worked with different AI solutions, they're seeing 25, 50, 55, 65% productivity gains because they're able to see across the whole board whenever they apply that. So, Jeff, I don't know if you have any other thoughts there, but that was one that really stood out to me as being an area that, this data layer really helps support.
Tons of other thoughts, but I mean, you absolutely nailed it, Brian, is that the levels of efficiency that is coming by having AI models that can span the data layer across all the different products is just crazy in what it is producing. Look, every product out there, every single product that an MSP or their customers are using has AI built into it today. And a lot of these are really good tools. That said, the models are only capable of looking at the data that lives inside that database, right? So what is unique about having a true platform as a service, which is what we built out with ASIO, is that the data is not a PSA data, it's not RMM data, it's not vulnerability data, it's not CPQ data. It is one data layer that is spanning it all. That means the models of AI that can be created are not PSA models, they're not RMM models, they are comprehensive MSP models. That means that they can start to become service delivery bots, sales bots, procurement bots. Like the capability that having all the data in one spot starts to open up is just crazy in all the capabilities. And our partners are really starting to tap into that and doing some amazing things with Sidekick already. Got, what Jake Varghese and Raghu, our CTO, and Amir Karim, with the security, what they're already doing with their products is remarkable. And what they're going to do over the next 6 to 9 months is just spectacular.
Yeah, it's really great. It's fun to see. And, another area that I want to make sure that we don't gloss over that's also really important is, when we talk about like extensibility of our platform and really like what true MSP platforms are, it's extendable platform as a service that you're still going to need certain types of tools to run your business depending on the clients you service and things like that. Wouldn't it be cool if all of that data that you have in that other solution could be extended into the single data layer within your MSP platform so that you can optimize that as well? Jeff, that's what we're talking about when we talk about vendor extensibility. And maybe share a little bit of your vision and how that all works, because it's not just us, it's the ecosystem, and this is an area that we feel really strongly about.
No, it comes up a lot. So everybody will hear me talk about ASIO and some of my peers, and they're like, well, that sounds amazing, Jeff, but I have this product that I love and it's amazing, it does this for me, whatever it is, right? And they're like, but am I having to give that up if I come onto the ASIO platform? And the answer is no. like, look, keep those amazing products. There's a ton of point solutions and best of breed products that are out there in the ecosystem of the IT nation. We want you to use those. Now, what I ask for each of those vendors that are like potentially watching this is come integrate your data in to the platform as a service. Push your data in a way that we can take advantage of it, organize it, structure it, put it into our UI, put it into our dashboards, or so that we can store it for 6, 12, 18, 24, 36 months for our reporting purposes. That creates such an opportunity that we wouldn't have had in the legacy days. The true ASIO platform as a service allows and extends to all those capabilities, which most products in the legacy days were like share data. Like I'll pull data, I'll push data, that's fine. But when you can really start to not only just push and pull data, but also to create UI and extend tables, and then also to tie that into dashboards and reporting and overall AI analysis. Because again, if the vendor you're working with is pushing that data into our data lake, we can also extend that to our AI models, which means that the AI in your Sidekick can also build upon that. So, look, this is Lego blocks. At the end of the day, there's a good friend of ours, Brian, who constantly compares this as like Lego blocks, and I think he does an amazing job of presenting and talking about ASIO, and I think that's a great representation of that, of what this is.
Yeah, it's and this is like, again, if you got something that you love that you use all the time in your business and it works for you, cool, bring it along. The platform that you choose in this, next evolution of MSP, silos that you're trying to solve, really should be extensible. And think about how pushing that information from the platform or the product you love into this platform, and then being able to take advantage of the AI that we've built in our models to go optimize that. I mean, it's goes beyond what most companies can do today. And you'll hear companies out there talking about their integrations, and they'll say it's commercially integrated, but we're talking about full extensibility. And that's where this data layer is extremely important. It's different, and that allows you to really drive that full optimization. So Jeff, we have had a good time today. Like we've joked, it's a Friday afternoon. Really excited to be joined by the folks that have watched this. But I just want to say, this is part 2 of our 4-part series. So we'll be back again next week. And next week is going to be really fun because, we've talked about some of these concepts, and we've talked about how the centralization of data drives AI and hyperautomation. Well, next week, we're going to dive into that. And we're going to talk more about what we feel the opportunity is with AI, and how a true AI engine on a platform can take your business to the next level. You layer in the AI, you layer in the hyperautomation, and we're going way beyond profitability and numbers for our partners really go through the roof. So make sure to keep an eye out for an invite for next week. And so with that, Jeff, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.